everyone, my name is April Wilson. I am here today to talk to you about Saudi Arabia. I know some of you are planning a trip there, and I'm going to be going over some things, some of their cultures and traditions, things that they do in their country, so you'll be better well informed. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia occupies most of the Arabian Peninsula. It's roughly 870,000 square miles. It's bordered by the Persian Gulf and the Red Sea and the country of Yemen, Oman, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar, as well as Jordan, Iraq, and Kuwait. It's a very large country. The climate, it's really hot, it's desert, they have a high humidity, the rainfall is very scarce there. The crop production requires underground aquifers, and there are no rivers or natural bodies of water around it. The four main regions of Saudi Arabia are Najd. It's the cultural center of the country. Hijaz, one of the oldest areas of Saudi Arabia, home of Mecca and Medina, and two holiest Islamic cities in the world. Azir is very rural and centers to agriculture and fishing. Eastern Providence, home of Saudi Arabia, largest oasis, and produces the most dates in the country, which dates is something that's real popular there that they like to eat. It's also the largest source of Saudi Arabian oil wealth. Arabic is the language of Saudi Arabia. There are many subdialects. English is the main second language of Saudi Arabia. Symbolism there, the national flag is green with a sword and a palm tree. The sword symbolizes the military success of the first king. September 23rd is their national day, which is like our 4th of July. Unlike our Independence Day, it's only celebrated with speeches and school activities. There are no parties or festivities or fireworks like we have for 4th of July. The food there. The main traditional foods of Saudi Arabia are dates, goat, camel, and cow's milk. Now those are traditional. Things have changed a little nowadays. Less common today are the dates, grain-based dishes, and milk. Chicken is more common today over the goat and the camel. Light roasted Arabic coffee and tea is the popular drink today in Saudi Arabia. Foods forbidden by Islam are pork, wine, and other alcoholic beverages. They do not eat pork over in Saudi. Food customs and ceremonial occasions. Traditional etiquette when one was having a guest come to their house was to sacrifice a sheep, a goat, or a camel for this guest. This is still done today, however, sometimes substituted with chicken. Other major ritual occasions require the sacrifice, slaughter of sheep or sometimes a goat or even young camels, but it's less common nowadays. Traditionally, the male guests and older men got to eat first, and the women and the girls ate separately. They typically had a separate meal for the girls and the women, but on occasion they got to eat what the men ate after the men finished their food. So the women had to eat separately and sometimes didn't get to eat what the men ate. Major industries in Saudi Arabia has more than 1/4 of the world total of oil reserves. It is the world's leading oil producer and exporter. The Arabian American Oil Company was started in 1944 and has rapidly expanded since then. Things they traded, the majority of exported products are crude oil, refined products, and natural gas. Customers are Japan, Asian countries, and Western Europe and the United States. Main imported items are machinery, appliances, electrical equipment, food, chemical products, jewelry, and metals. The main imports are European Union, United States, and Japan. Gender roles and statuses. There are very strict gender segregation in Saudi Arabia, sanctioned by the state and society. Women can work outside their home where there is no contact with any unrelated men. So women were not allowed to speak to men unless they were related to them. Only about 7% of Saudi Arabian workforce is female. men have more rights than women there. Women cannot drive and must wear a veil and remain out of public view. Women can own property, they can invest in their own money. Parents still arrange marriages. Men are allowed 4 wives, but the wives must all be treated equally by the husband. There can be no favorites. But it's less common today than it was years ago. Divorce rates are high, and remarriage is common, especially for men. When a couple would get divorced, a lot of times the females do not get remarried, but the men typically do. Marriage is considered a necessary part of life in Saudi Arabia. Inheritance. Sons inherit twice as much as daughters from their fathers when their father dies. When widows inherit small portions, but the son typically supports the mother with the inheritance that's left to him. Socialization. Mothers used to give birth at home. Now birthplace takes place in hospitals. Boys are circumcised before leaving the hospital. Breastfeeding is typically considered not modern these days. They don't typically do that a lot. Literacy rates have went up drastically since 1970 for men and women. Half or more of university grads are women, though. Etiquette. Men and women seldomly interact with each other when they're not family. I kind of talked about this earlier. Most social interaction takes place in groups that are gender and age related. Greetings are usually done by shaking of hands, or if you know a person very well, usually kisses on the cheek 3 or more times. Gazing and staring at people that you do not know, like out on the street, is considered very rude in Saudi Arabia. You do not make eye contact with people if you don't know them. Their religion, almost all Saudi Arabian citizens are Muslims. Non-Muslim faiths are not allowed to practice in Saudi Arabia. The person most learned in Islam is the one who leads prayer. There are no ordained clergy or priests in Saudi Arabia. It's the person who knows the most about the religion who takes care of that. They do 5 daily prayers and everyday ritual. Must face Mecca when praying. The dead are washed, wrapped in shrouds, buried facing Mecca. They're not in coffins or markers. The burial must take place before sunset of the day of the death. And their belief is that when you die, you either go to heaven or hell. That is their belief. Medicine and healthcare. Traditionally, physical ailments were treated with herbs and other plants or by cauterization, meaning that they would burn a specific part of the body with a hot iron. Mental health problems were addressed by the reading of the Quran. Nowadays, modern Western medicine is used widely by all society. Traveling to Arab countries, Europe, and U.S. remains common for medical treatment as well. A lot of them will travel out of the country for treatment. And that kind of wraps up what I have for any cultural or traditions in Saudi Arabia. I hope this has helped you all, and I hope you all have a wonderful trip there. Thank you.